Jeff Okudah had a good game. No, there was a snap limit, but he played a good game. Devonta Smith, no catches on him. He was one of the team's leading tacklers. And you kind of saw what you've seen so far. Nothing special, nothing that wowed you, but it was a good performance. You have to say he played a good game. And if you would have told me that going into Philly, that's what I was going to get, I would have sat here and said, I'll take it. Healthy, looked good, really never got beat in coverage. I'll take it. I'll take it. That's a good step one for Jeff. It's one game. There's 16 more on the season. I'd like to see him play the whole season if possible.
That's the only thing.
But we're getting to a point where you don't have much room for error anymore. You don't. So with Jeff, I'm glad he had a good performance. I thought it was good. It was solid. I thought he was the best secondary player the team had on the field in that game. A.J. Brown, why they didn't line him up, we'll leave that for a later discussion. I'm not really too concerned with it. Again, he was on a snap count.
Right.
Let him get into it. I think by week 4 or 5, he continues playing at that level, getting better and better. He will be the best secondary player on this team.
Yeah, no, I thought he had a great game. Not just solid. I thought he had a great performance from Jeff Okudah, especially for his first game back. You saw Dan Campbell then also limit his snaps, and you missed him. Will Harris gave up that big play to A.J. Brown. If it was Jeff Okudah, it could have been different. But the thing I took away from is him in coverage. I mean, Devonta Smith didn't have a catch. He was targeted 4 times, didn't have a catch. Jeff Okudah was solid. Like you said, he would have led the team in tackles. Tracy Walker led the team in tackles just above him, which he was ejected for throwing punches. But for Jeff Okudah, I mean, this is what you wanted. Not only do you want him to be healthy, but you don't want to hear about him. If you're not hearing about Jeff Okudah, that's a good thing. I mean, we could talk about Jeff Okudah in coverage last year at times, or the year prior getting burnt, and we've had these discussions on the morning show. But I thought on yesterday, Jeff Okudah did a good job. I mean, he really did. For a guy to come back off an Achilles injury like that, and I know he's been working hard in the offseason, fighting for Will Harris over that second cornerback spot as opposed to Ermanni Warrior. I thought he came out and showed out against a very, very good receiving core in the Eagles. So you couldn't ask for anything more out of Jeff Okudah, in my opinion.
It was a good performance, but the guy who had the game, who was probably the team's player of the game, and it wasn't even close, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
My goodness, Jeff. Fantasy football owners, I'm sure, really happy with DeAndre Swift, but he was explosive. He didn't go down easily.
He was decisive, too. That was the thing I noticed.
And look, we paid attention. We all watched Hard Knocks. We all saw Deuce Staley's concerns with DeAndre Swift taking, quote, the easy way out, not being greedy for yards. Oh, he was greedy for yards. He earned every yard on Sunday. Hell of a performance. I thought the best performance of any Detroit Lion. That was his ceiling. That's the player he is. 3 catches out of the backfield, 31 yards. That's what you expect out of DeAndre Swift. 100 yards on the ground, phenomenal. I mean, he was just explosive. Started the game, first carry, what did he go, 50, 60 yards?
Mm-hmm. Hit a 50-yard run.
It was a great start to the game. Again, just looking back at the game now, unfortunate because they really put themselves in a position to win. They really did early on. You do what every team wants to do. Your first possession, go out and get points. They did it. Stop the opposing team. Boom, turnover on downs. But then it was the 3 and outs. But DeAndre Swift, Jeff, happy?
Oh, I'm happy. And I said this at the beginning of the show. I'll say it again. I really do believe that this backfield, as of right now, they're still treating it like a 50-50 backfield. I don't think it is. I think DeAndre Swift, it needs to be a 70-30 backfield in terms of carry share. I mean, you got to give DeAndre Swift, I thought, and I get it's his first game, but you got to give him 20 carries. I mean, he was hot yesterday. And again, for a guy who is as deadly as DeAndre Swift is, and for a team that's lacking a true superstar, I think DeAndre Swift's the closest. And we talk about offense. It's going to be run through DeAndre Swift. Him in the pass game as well. He caught 3 balls for 30 yards. I just thought he was solid. And you talk about what he did in the run game. We talk about this offensive line being the strong suit on offense. DeAndre Swift's running behind that offensive line. He showed out. 144 yards on 15 carries and a touchdown. We'll take that. And I said it. I think he'll go for 1,000 this year. I know he wants 1,000 and 1,000, which I don't think he'll get. No. But no question, rushing, he's going for 1,000 yards. I mean, he's dynamic. Just has to stay healthy.
And look, man, let's just be honest. There were good things you can take away from this football game. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not that they just lost. No. There were some really good things that happened. St. Brown continued where he left off last season. I believe he tied T.J. Hushmanzada for the all-time NFL record of games with 8 catches, 65+ yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, he's a reception
consecutively.
machine.
So he's there. He's producing. That's a good sign. DJ Chark came on lane. He's really struggled early. Really struggled catching the ball early. The team had 17 drops. I mean, again, we'll get to the clean it up comments. They had to clean it up. That game was there for them to take. But the fact that you got a good performance out of Jeff Okudah, a great performance out of DeAndre Swift, another very good performance out of St. Brown. You're looking at this team. They didn't really, Jared Goff wasn't punished, you know? And that was a formidable front seven from Philly.